Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of PKM Weekly. Apologies, this one is slightly later than usual, but I got a little bit sidetracked with home labbing, so we shall see how that's going to go. So what's in store for us this week is Capacities. They've published the What Next update, so that was previously up until February, I think it was, and now they've published a new one. So they're saying that in 2025 so far they've been polishing the basics and laying the foundation for some exciting features. And what these features are object views and query improvements. So we've seen already some of these improvements coming through, but they're going to do some more. Variable queries, group by, so you'll be able to group your views by properties, which is essential for Kanban views, and then label properties. So instead of having a drop down, you can link it to a set of objects. So lots of things coming up in Capacities on the object views and query improvements. We've then, as we spoke last week, we've got the Readwise integration. So the team are working on this with the Readwise team to try and finalize it and get some phase 1 basics implemented. And just to confirm, it is going to only be available to believers to begin with, and then the integration will be made available for Capacities Pro. So it's not for the time being going to be available on the free tier. They're looking at better AI integration, CSV markdown and file import finally. For the time being, it's very difficult to import any notes from other files. So that's an improvement that's going to happen. And then an improvement to search as well. And as usual with Capacities, if you go to the article, you can see it written in full here, what they're planning for better Capacities AI integration, smarter context, support of other AI providers, the import, so they're explaining how they're seeing it and how it's going to be implemented, and back-end search improvements. And then on the long term, task management, media types 2.0, and deeper AI integration, which we saw these before. So lots of great stuff from the Capacities team, so well done on that one. And to celebrate, I guess, or to try and get more people enticed into Capacities, they are now offering a free 14-day trial for Capacities Pro. So it is no strings attached, no credit card required. I think you just need to go into your settings and choose to upgrade. And then as they write here, if you choose not to upgrade after your trial is over, you don't have to do anything. Your trial will end automatically and you won't be charged. So you can try it, and what you'll get is queries, AI assistant, task, actions, calendar integration, and some custom icons. 1 through 4, I think, are great additions. Number 5 is a bit superfluous, but at least you get to try some of the key things that Capacities Pro has to offer. So definitely worthwhile having a look into that and seeing if it entices you to upgrade. And on the flip side, there was a user that shared, I'm really trying to like this app, but I am struggling. They find it clunky to use. I'm not going to talk about tablet and mobile, but on Mac, I'm struggling with formatting, moving blocks, formatting text, shortcuts, etc. And he's just trying to use the app in a bit of a simple way. And he does write here the full thing, and with various different comments that you can see that have been shared, with a lot of users agreeing, a lot of users saying you kind of need to use it in a slightly different manner, but definitely worthwhile having a look into that if you're seeing the same. So that was Capacities. Now Tana, they've released the updates notes for July 2025, and there has been a lot of notes even though most of the team are on vacation. And the updates include select AI models, so you can now do a little bit more integration to your own. Custom calculations, schedule meetings, the manage workspaces, and the URL system fields. The one that I like the most is the custom calculations with formatting numbers and currency symbols, so you can now actually read a number the way it should be. And there's been a lot of other things as well in the changelog, which we can have a look through. So lots of new things and lots of improvements, as well as fixes in terms of bug fixes and what was going on. And we've removed the global setting for hiding done items. So quite a few improvements and tweaks on that side. And then the team, they've also confirmed that they're working on lots of things and lots of exciting things. And in no particular order, new views and navigation options, offline mode to some extent, not too sure how much or how it's going to be implemented, but they are working on it. New reference related section, new Tana publish, and more things that the team are working on. And these were touched upon in the last office hours with Matt and Olav. So if you haven't seen that, definitely worthwhile checking it out on the Tana YouTube channel. But these are some of the things that the devs are working towards. So lots of things to look forward to. They've also lined up on Wednesday, in a few days' time, they're kicking off a new live series where they build full use cases in Tana. So I think this is a great way to showcase what Tana can do. Building out a system from scratch with users there, live, everyone doing it together. So at least you can get the full use and the full depth of the team's know-how. And they're going to build a system to track, review and plan workouts, plus show you a structure that you can reuse for later builds. And how they're planning it: brainstorm, structure, review, automate and operate. So quite a good few things coming up, and you will have to start from a brand new workspace, which is a great idea, so at least everyone's starting from the same level field. And there is a 60-minute time limit to see just how far everyone can get to. So I think this is a great idea, and I hope other PKM apps introduce it as well, just so at least you can get the full extent of using the app to its full capabilities. And last up with Tana, they've got a number of commands that are possible. And what Braga did, he did a video of the 50 things you can do in Tana ranked by usefulness. So this is a great video. It is time-stamped, so you can see here a number of different tweaks, commands that you can do, ranging from the easy to the more difficult, to the useful, to the not so useful, but a bit of everything here for everyone. So definitely worthwhile checking this one out as well. On Obsidian, there's been a few updates using it as a read it later app. So OP, they shared that they're a long-time Pocket users and they're trying to just work out how to move away from that, and they've gone through and now have found Obsidian bases and Obsidian just to use it as a perfect read it later app. And he does go through, uses the web clipper to clip things, and he goes through the whole article with explaining. It's not too long, but you can go through it here of how he uses this as a read it later app, all already within Obsidian. So definitely worthwhile looking into that one if it's something that interests you in having a read it later app direct in Obsidian rather than having to get another subscription somewhere else. Another one was a bit of a rant, who basically said stop gatekeeping how Obsidian should be used, and the user was just ranting that there is no one correct way of using Obsidian, and these are against all of the users that say you have to use Obsidian this way, and they're just suggesting it's a versatile tool and can be used in any way, shape or form that the individual likes. So it is primarily just for meeting notes, annotating them and managing projects, but you can use it for a lot of other things as well. And from memory, there was quite a lot of responses already, 110 responses and comments, so definitely worthwhile just having a look through. And it is more just a rant of just let the user use Obsidian as the way they want. And there was a great one on using Claude Code as a content research agent within Obsidian. So Riley, they posted a detailed video on Claude Code and how to set it up and all of that. And at one point at 4:35, using Claude Code as a content research agent with Obsidian. So it is a segment which lasts about 15 minutes or so, so definitely worthwhile having a look through if you have Claude and you want to use Claude Code. So in it, he goes through how you can install it, setting it up, and then doing more things, especially this one within Obsidian. So worthwhile having a look through at that one. Logseq, they've had a few updates. They're working on semantic search. So there wasn't too many comments or information that's been provided, but this was updated about 4 days ago. Feature semantic search doesn't go into a lot of detail of what's it going to do and how it's going to be implemented, but I'm guessing it's just going to bring another level up to the search feature within Logseq. So looking forward to that one. And then a user posted that in the new DB version, we can choose between emoji and icon, and you can also choose the color for the icons that you use in the pop-up that comes up. That's a great addition that we can now have in Logseq. And then OP asked, will the DB version work well with Git? So they're using Git to sync. And is there a way to keep using Git even after the DB branch takes over? Or will I have to use Logseq sync to not lose my data, even in merge conflict situations? And the crux of it is that it is going to be a little bit difficult, or maybe impossible. This user comments, using Git version control is also impossible in the DB version since Git can't diff SQL-lite files, although then another one says it is possible. So we will just have to wait and see what the devs come out with once they're ready to see how that's going to play out. But definitely worthwhile having a look through if you are also using Git and also interested in the DB version just to see what might be possible and what might not be. SuperNotes, I believe they've got version 3.0 coming out soon, and it's going to have flashcards, spaced repetition, and they've just posted that they're at the last few stages. So you can see here the one that they've posted, a screenshot, and it's got 213 flashcards that you can then bring up and use as an SRS system. So not clearly stated of when it's going to be released, but it is in the works and it is getting ready. So definitely something to look forward to. AnyType, they've now released a monthly payment plan. So if you're on the builder plan and rather than paying for the subscription for a year, you can pay it now on a monthly basis for $10 a month. And what you're going to get with the builder plan is a unique .any name for your web publishing and for publishing your information. So it's going to be something like release.any.org. 10 editors per shared workspace and 128 gig for storage and backup and collaboration. And if you use it and you want to subscribe before the next couple of weeks, before the 8th of August, you can get 20% off your first 3 months by using the AnySummer promo code. So if you are on the fence, definitely have a look at that one, as it might save you a few bucks. Heptabase, they've released a couple of things, advanced filters to global search. So you can now choose which card types to search and specify whether to include the text or the elements. And they've now supported emoji reactions to chat messages. And they've posted a very brief video of the advanced filters. So you can see here he's choosing which cards or which type of cards to choose, so that then you can just better filter on your search query that you're doing. So a great improvement on that one, just to drill down into what you're actually looking for rather than your whole knowledge base. And last up is Thymer. So this week we've got another teaser in the form of a distraction-free writing experience or an ambience writing experience as well. So you can have a minimal full screen editor, or you can also have, which is this one here, or if you want to change your vibe, you can have a nice little firelit setting or at the beach. So you can choose which one it is. Of course, we still have no app, as I keep saying every week, but at least we can now write with a nice little palm tree in the background, or will be able to at some point. So hopefully the devs are going to release the app at some point, because they did say August was looking good. And we shall see if that happens, because August is in less than a week. So we shall see. So that was it for this week. Thank you very much for watching, and I shall see you next week. Bye.